Hello everybody, Steve here. Today's tutorial is a beginner's electronics tutorial. I'm a beginner myself, so this kind of helps me. But being a beginner, I'm always looking on the internet for little projects to do and to teach myself electronics. So I found one actually on dummies.com, believe it or not, and it's called Charging and Discharging a Capacitor. Okay, and it's a very simple one. It looked like it was very easy for me to put together. And I just wanted to do it on a video to visualize it for anybody else that ever needed help with it. But essentially, it's very simple. It deals with a single 1,000 microfarad capacitor, a 470 ohm resistor, a few 22 gauge jumper wires, a 9-volt battery. They had two AA's, but I'm going to go ahead and use a 9-volt, standard LED, and of course your project board. So let's get started here. Alright, so we're going to build the first part of the circuit, and I'm going to bring it up here to the camera so you can see it, but we're going to go ahead and insert our resistor, standard 470 ohm resistor. Alright, I'm going to put one side in the positive rail of the project board, and I'm going to find a good side, a good row, and it looks like row 62 is a good row here. Alright, so I'm going to put so basically I've got the one side of the resistor in positive rail and the other one in the first port of 62 row. Okay, and this is our positive side and our negative side of the this particular section of the project board. Alright, so next we need to put in our LED. Alright, so an LED has a positive and negative side as well. The negative side of an LED always has a flat surface on it. Very hard to see on the video, I'm sure, but usually the leg is shorter as well on there. So I'm going to take the positive side of the LED and put it right next to, in row 62, right next to the resistor that's in there. And then I'm going to jump over that little ditch and I'm going to put the negative side of the LED in row 62. Okay, so negative, positive. Now we need a way to get the negative to this common negative rail over here, and we're going to use a black jumper for that. Okay, so I'm going to take my black jumper, row 62, and anywhere on the black rail, actually it's a blue rail, but anywhere on this rail is fine. So essentially that's what we've got. Alright, now to test that, we just apply power to it. So we take our 9-volt, which has an adapter and just two open ends on it, and I'm going to take this and plug the negative into one of the open negative ports and put the positive in, and voila, our LED lights up. Pretty easy. So if we unplug the power, it comes off immediately. Plug it back in, off, on, off. Instantaneous. Alright, but the purpose of this project was to use a capacitor to slow down the dissipation of the LED's energy. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put our capacitor in. Alright, so we need a way to jumper the positive over to this section here on the board. So we're going to use a little wire, and I'm going to use let's see, row 50. So I'm going to jumper the positive over to 50. Like that. And now we take our capacitor. Black band is always negative. Alright, so we're going to take the positive side, stick him in any of the open slots on the positive side of the project board in 50, and then any of the negative ones on the other side in 50. So it's all in a row. Okay? And now we need to continue the negative side from here to the black rail. So we're going to use another black jumper and put it in 50 right next to the lead of the negative lead of the capacitor, and then anywhere on the blue rail, completing our circuit. Okay, so now when we apply power, we should see that the LED does not turn off immediately. So let's see if we did this right. I'm going to hold this with my other hand. I'm going to go ahead and apply the positive side, And I'm going to take the negative and we're going to put it in to the negative. So we get our LED. And now watch what happens when I unplug the power supply. Ready, go. Takes a few seconds for the LED to totally turn off. So once again, on, and we'll pull power now. In about 2 seconds, the capacitor dumps its energy and the LED is out. So not too bad. And that was basically the project. As a little bonus to myself, I actually have some larger capacitors laying around. This one, for instance, is a 33,000 microfarad capacitor. So you can see the difference in size. Get that up here on the camera. Quite a bit of difference. So let's go ahead and get this guy in the loop and see how long we can burn this LED. Alright, so I'm going to put him to the side for a second. I'm going to go ahead and just pull the capacitor out. Put him to the side. And essentially I'm just going to undo these leads and leave them open, and I'm going to put some alligator clips on them so that we can clip it to the capacitor. So I'll unplug this one, leave him out for a second, and unplug him. Alright. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take my capacitor and I'm going to take a white alligator clip, and he'll be the positive. And I'm going to take a black alligator clip and he'll be the negative. Alright, so we'll put this down for a second. And we'll leave him right here. Or actually, we'll just stick him off to the side here. Alright, so I'm going to take the negative of the capacitor and plug it to that open lead, open negative lead. And I'm going to take the positive and connect it to the open lead, red lead, which is the positive. Alright. And then we're going to take our power supply and we're going to add power to it and see what happens. So let's get the positive in. And here comes the negative. Okie dokie. So now we've got our LED on. And I'm going to pull the power. I'm going to pull the power. And we'll see how long it takes this LED to turn off. So pulling power now. It's taking a lot longer than 2 seconds. Actually, it takes around 30 something seconds for this to get totally out with this particular capacitor on here. You can see it's dimming down just a little bit now. If I was to add energy to it again, it perks back up. Pull it again, and the stored energy in the big capacitor is keeping it lit. Okay, so with that, that's kind of the end of this little beginner's tutorial on capacitors and LEDs. If you like this video, if it was helpful to you, please like or subscribe to it. If you want to leave me a comment or so telling me I did something wrong or would like to see more beginner videos, be happy to do them. So until then, appreciate you watching and thank you very much. Have a good day.